This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning, I'm Taylor Upchurch. Today is Sunday, May 5th. A military charter jet that skidded off the runway into a Florida river Friday night remained stuck in the riverbed yesterday. The plane was carrying 143 people from Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. As CBS's Kenneth Craig reports, there were no fatalities, and there's one reason they're calling it a miracle.
The military chartered plane carrying 143 people from Cuba to Florida slid off the runway into the St. Johns River in Jacksonville. No one died and no serious injuries were reported in the Friday night accident.
I think it is a miracle. It could have ended we could be talking about a different story.
In Jacksonville, 16 investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board are now working to determine how the Boeing 737 ended up in the shallow water. An NTSB official displayed the plane's data recorder after it was recovered.
The cockpit voice recorder, which is the device that records the intra-cockpit conversation between the crew and also external transmissions with air traffic control, is another matter. That is in the tail of the aircraft and is currently underwater, and we cannot get to it until the aircraft is moved.
The Miami Air International flight took off from the naval station at Guantanamo Bay. Officials say the plane, which carried civilian and military personnel, was landing in a thunderstorm when the accident happened just before 10 p.m.
The crews went into the water to rescue the personnel that were on the wings of the aircraft. They started bringing the personnel from the aircraft to the shore.
By early Saturday, all 136 passengers and 7 crew members had been rescued. Kenneth Craig, CBS News.
Officials say the fate of pets in the cargo hold remains unknown. And now let's check in with meteorologist Shane Smith for a look at your forecast this morning. Shane, it's a little soggy out there today.
Yeah, definitely a little on the wet side on this Sunday morning, but the good news is we're not going to see all day rain today. The bad news is, as you're heading out the door for your Sunday morning services, you're going to want to grab that umbrella. You can see it at our Whitesburg cam. Still plenty of rain out there. In fact, a nice little water droplet blocking half the lens as we speak. Also dealing with a little bit of fog this morning across the region with visibility down to around 2.5 miles to a mile in some locations, and we are continuing to see overall just very gloomy conditions. Let's take a look now at pinpoint Doppler radar, and you are going to see that rain showers continue to work their way across eastern Kentucky as we speak, and those showers are going to continue for a few more hours before they become more widespread in nature. Still have a flood watch out for our West Virginia counties and some of the counties up near Louisa through 10 a.m., although I think we're going to avoid any more widespread high water problems. Temperatures currently running into the upper 50s and low 60s, and we're only going to top out in the mid 60s today. Then that colder air starts funneling in and is going to help keep our temperatures into the mid to low 60s through most of the afternoon. Also, we'll see an increase in isolated shower activity this afternoon, but drier weather's on the way. We'll talk about how long it'll last here in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Shane. The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team got a call just after 11 on Saturday for a hiker who was having a heart attack. The hiker was more than 2 miles into the Hanson Point Trail in the Red River Gorge. With the help of several rescue workers, they were able to get the man off the trail and then transported to a hospital by ambulance. The man was alert and talking when he was carried out. And rescue crews search for 2 men after their helicopter crashed into the Chesapeake Bay near D.C. Coast Guard received a report just after noon yesterday that a 2-seat helicopter with 2 men aboard crashed about a mile south of Kent Island. Coast Guard officials say they're working with state and local partners to find the 2 men. It's not known what caused the chopper to crash. And 98 guns are missing after a burglary in the state of Washington. Investigators released surveillance video of 3 suspects who broke into a gun store Monday. The alarm was tripped just before 2 a.m. after someone broke the glass doors of the store. 3 rewards are being offered to anyone with information that leads to an arrest. Although more than 44 million American adults have a mental health condition, many more go undiagnosed. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher shows us how the Lions Club in Coal Run is working to break the stigma.
Many struggle with some type of mental illness.
There's a lot of stigma in our area associated with it, so that's what we're trying to do is break down the barriers.
According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, 18% of adults in the United States have a mental health condition.
This is our kickoff event for the month of May for the mental health awareness.
Nathan Coleman is the president of Coal Run's Lion Club in Pike County.
The Coal Run Village Lions Club took this on several months ago to bring in this whole initiative to get rid of the stigma of mental health.
The organization held a mental health walk and talk to help people like Jack Walters.
It was becoming a problem that I was recognizing, and I went through the proper channels.
Walters struggled with anxiety before seeing a psychiatrist.
And I feel as a result of that, I'm able to be a lot more productive, a lot better person.
Navigating the illness with the help of Dr. Jay Narola.
People don't want to consider mental health as a medical illness, just like people suffer from diabetes, high blood pressure.
Hoping this event will start an important conversation.
Improvement in various levels, personal level, social level, occupational level.
Killing the silent stigma. In Pike County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Mental health conditions are the leading cause of disability in the United States. If you think you may have a mental health condition, you can call 1-800-662-4357. And a free dental bus came to Floyd County to help those who cannot afford proper dental care. God's Appalachian Partnership teamed up with North American Mission Board to provide dental procedures to those who are in need. Volunteer dentists, dental hygienists, and nurses came out from the community and state to help.
We're just offering this free dental clinic for any of those who just need it in our area, and we're able to offer this to those who need it and to be able to share the gospel with those.
Morris says that he hopes to have the dental bus back again in the near future. And an 18-year-old was killed during a crash on Highway 52 in Madison County Saturday morning. The Madison County coroner identifies the victim as Marcus Lewis II from Harrodsburg. The coroner says Lewis was a student at Mercer County High School. He says Lewis was driving when he lost control and hit a tree. A passenger in the car was taken to the hospital with unknown injuries. And in Clay County, 2 separate incidents this week led to charges of endangering the welfare of a minor, among other charges. Early yesterday morning, deputies found a man slumped over the wheel of a vehicle outside Alvin's store. A child was also in the vehicle with Jamie Jordan, along with a loaded syringe. Jordan was determined to be under the influence. Jordan faces multiple charges and was taken to the Clay County Detention Center. And then this woman here, Roberta Lovins, is also charged with driving under the influence and endangering the welfare of a minor. The story here, Clay County deputies say they watched Lovins drive into a brush pile near the intersection of Upper Raider Road and Kentucky 472. A small child was found in the back floorboard of the vehicle. Lovins admitted to taking prescribed medication. She was also taken to the Clay County Detention Center. And Derby celebrations were underway in eastern Kentucky yesterday afternoon. ARH hosted their annual Derby Party. Each year they host this event to raise money for a different cause. This year the money will go to patients who have cardiac problems, whether that be helping provide transportation to patients or helping them pay a bill.
The Derby Party is just a great fun event. We're raising money this year for cardiacs, for people who need transportation, or they may need help with a bill. So this event will raise probably $20,000 to help those people.
Stone says he loves seeing the amount of community support that always comes out to this event. And moving outside of Hazard to Floyd County, friends of Jenny Wiley continued the celebrations by hosting their own Derby Party. Talk Derby to Me was held at the Jenny Wiley State Resort Lodge in Prestonsburg. There were raffles, food, drinks, and of course, a Derby hat competition. All proceeds go back into the nonprofit organization. Jim Stewart says this is the perfect way to celebrate from home.
This is the way some of our friends, all of us, can get together and have a good time with the race without having to drive all the way to Louisville.
Members and friends of Jenny Wiley participate in multiple cleanup efforts throughout the year to keep Jenny Wiley State Park beautiful. Attention chicken lovers, keep an eye on recent frozen purchases. Tyson recalled nearly 12 million pounds of chicken strips because they might contain metal. Tyson is expanding its recall of frozen, ready-to-eat chicken strips products that were shipped nationwide. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service says more than 69,000 pounds were included when recall was first issued in March. Latest recall includes products produced from October 1st through March 8th and have use-by dates of October 1st, 2019 through March 7th, 2020. And YouTube now has 2 billion monthly users. The Google-owned video giant continues to boost its living room footprint. Watch time of YouTube on TV screens was more than 250 million hours per day as of March 2019, according to the company. That's an increase of 39% in less than a year and excludes viewing on YouTube TV, Google's internet paid TV service. And one family is now admitting to paying $6.5 million to get their daughter into college. It's part of the same admissions scam that ensnared Lori Lawlin and Felicity Huffman. But this family says they're victims who thought the process was legitimate. Federal authorities say the $6.5 million is the largest amount of money anyone admitted to paying college admissions scam artist Rick Singer. The money came from a Chinese pharmaceutical billionaire who was trying to get his daughter into Stanford. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one state Department of Health is urging people to vaccinate for measles. And coming up in sports, we have highlights of the 145th running of the Kentucky Derby and its surprising outcome next.
You will need that umbrella as you head out the door this morning, but a few days of drier weather are on the way. Your complete forecast is up after the break.